Alright, it's time for miscellaneous supers, and I am including Princess Cat in the miscellaneous, even though she's not in this, because I don't consider Princess Cat a fest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't consider her a fest. Like, honestly, I would say that Trixie and Stall are closer to fests than Princess is, but don't worry, talking about all of them today. Starting off with Princess Cat. Princess is 4,500 cost. She has 551 standing range, 5 movement speed, 4 knockbacks, 160 second recharge time, which is kind of long. 4 swing is really long with 3.4 seconds, 9 second attack frequency, which is also on the longer side, only 4,700 DPS, and 52,000 HP, which is actually really good with the 4 knockbacks. Then she also has the mini wave, which gives her a lot of pierce and 20% more damage, so that would be about 6k damage. DPS, sorry. The weaken is 5 seconds, plus a little bit of extension thanks to the mini wave. So that is above 50% uptime with 551 standing range, which is actually pretty good. Plus zombie killer and immune to curse. She's good debuffer, but she only targets 3 traits. Which isn't a bad thing by any means, but red, zombies, and angels. Angels are her best targeted trait, and reds and zombies kind of aren't, but she does target 3 traits, and she does have 551 range. But looking at some of these Ubers in B, like just not comparing her to them directly, but just seeing where I think she should be. Angel's her main usage, and she works wonders against Angel. But remember, it is only 50% uptime, just about, with the weaken. Like, it's not 100% uptime, which is ideal with weaken, and you don't have any other niche. And remember, she doesn't have any natural pierce. Like, she doesn't have Omni or LD. So it's not like it's exactly easy for her to land all of her hits. But she's still good, right? But it is only weaken. Her damage is good for her range, but nothing crazy. This one's actually, like, hard for me. I think middle B, I think. I think middle B, just under Cat Machine, is where I'll put her. I do believe that's why I will put Princess. Her survivability is shockingly good, but her recharge time is long. But I'm not gonna count her off for that. I just don't feel like moving her again. Her huge range of mini wave is very good combination. It is very good. Like B tier and up is like good Uber, like, and even then these Ubers are still decent. New maybe below Thunderjack. Who the fuck is Rain or New? Are you saying like you want her to be above? Like, that's not a big difference. The main point in her being here is because it's like right in the middle of B. That's the main point here. Right in the middle of B. It's not necessarily that she's better or worse than Cat Machine and White Cat or whatever the fuck that one's name is. It's just middle of B. Because remember, I really don't care for comparing Uber to Uber all that much. Cat Machine gatekeeps the middle, my goat. He really does. I'm gonna be honest, because he's also like in the middle, right? Like B, yeah, it's just B. Valkyrie though has 345 range, 32 movement speed, only 2 knockbacks, so 50-second recharge time is really short. 1.2 second force swing, 4-second attack frequency, and 11,000 DPS, but only 35,000 HP. So she has zombie killer, so she's probably one of the better zombie killers in the game, because kind of like with logistics, having a short recharge time is actually really nice for zombies. However, only 30% chance to break barriers, which doesn't really matter, and then quite a few immunities. Kind of like the Dark is of back in the day, right? But 11,000 DPS isn't something you can ignore whenever you have this low of a recharge time, right? So, like, I think that's like bottom of A. Because you have immunities, maybe not relevant ones, but immunities nonetheless. And really good general DPS that doesn't, discriminate against anything other than metals, which is really good. And I don't know why they gave her immune to curse. There's nothing to curse on Wind Dancer Valkyrie. but whatever. Her survivability is one main concern, but she's still like a pretty good mid-ranger, you know? So like I think definitely low A. Trash survivability, not gonna lie. Otherwise, her in every other aspect looks good of it. 2 knockbacks is still good, is still fine, right? Like you got to consider the fact that this is 50-second recharge time. Even if she dies quickly, you're going to have her like on like quite a lot. You cannot tell me Stall is worse than Little Valkyrie. I'm not telling you that. Like you're putting words in my mouth. I haven't even gotten to him yet. And then Little Valkyrie Dark, I'm gonna say is slightly worse than Wind Dancer, because I think you're missing the immunities that can be really nice. However, you do get more DPS thanks to the wave, but it's not a lot more. Wait, no, I think it's the exact same actually. But you do get Pierce, which is a pretty big deal. But I mean, you're missing immunities, your survivability still sucks, and you know, all that stuff. So, you know, but still a really good unit. Like honestly. Like a really good unit. Rage Bait is a cool name? No, it's not. Like, I mean, it's the same thing as Wind Dance. I don't think I have to say all the stats out loud again. It's the same thing. Now we get to probably one of my more controversial ones of today. I think Stall is going to be the other one that's a little controversial. But Trixie. Normal is better IMO? Yeah. I like the immunities because it gives you a little more usage, like niche usage. S tier easily? I don't know about easily. And I don't even know about S tier. Because you only have 280 standing range. That's not a safe standing range a lot of the time. And like, sure you can quote unquote tank, but tanking with, I mean, you have 50,000 damage bulk, which may sound good, but with this low of standing range and without the ability to really like, I don't know, consistently defend yourself. Yes, but she freezes a lot. It's not guaranteed. First of all, it's not a guaranteed freeze. And second of all, I don't care how much freezing you do. If you can't reach the enemy, you're not doing jack shit, right? You want to use her against her trade, the constant freeze will cripple them? Yeah, but it's not a 100% freeze, right? Like, it's not a super highly like, it is consistent, don't get me wrong. But it's not... How do I word this? It's not as good as you think it is. I've used her a little bit. I have used her a little bit, and she is good. She's A, easily. She's easily A, not S, right? Like, I think she's, like, middle of the road at A, right? Like, I think she's just around up here, right? Like, slightly higher than half, right? Was she going to land that freeze on? Well, like I said, she has decent bulk, right? But her high knockback count kind of stops that from being as good as it could be. Like, honestly, her high knockback count kind of ruins her, because you're not going to be able to tank things like Professor A, or is it Master A? Which one's the white one? I don't know. But like, she also doesn't have that valuable of immunities. Like, slow helps against Croakley, warp if anything hurts her, and curse. I mean, it is of course good for Relic. I think she deserves S because of her very good trait targeting. Alien and Relic are not good traits to target. Like, if I were to do a trait tier list now for this specific tier list, I would probably put traitless, either floating or angel. They're kind of tied, but I think they're like a tier lower than traitless in terms of like, not relevance, but like difficulty, or like something like, I don't know the word for it, but you know. So like, traitless is definitely at the top, and I think even Aku is above Relic, right? Traitless, angel, and floating, top 3 for sure. I see that. I do see that. I think Aku is like right below floating and angel, but like really close. And then everything else is kind of just on a tier lower, in terms of like, not viability. What is it? It's not relevancy either, because you like how much of something there is. Obviously, Relic's at the top, but I don't know. Necessity, maybe? Aku is the best trait to target? No. Because Uriel exists, Uriel plus Komuso, those two alone, plus Cone, Those 3 alone can basically just terrorize any Aku stage. And all of them are non-gacha. So, like, you know. But yeah. Excuse me? Why did I don't know why I had a sound effect. Whatever. If some... You followed me 5 hours ago. Why is it giving me the alert now? Whatever. Did I say everything? Yeah. About just above mid-A. Yo Legends and Earl are insane power creep for Relic to the point where you can complete the game without any single Relic Uber. Exactly. Like, it's the early game of UL that's actually difficult. After that, you know. Metal's not power crept. Non-gacha metals are shit generalists. Well, they're anti-metals. Why are you asking non-gacha metals to be generalists? There are a lot of mixed metal stages. Yeah, but then metal's not the main threat. And at that point, Huracat takes care of the non-threatening metals just fine. Right? And like, I mean, they don't have to be non-gacha. Like, Cameraman takes care of the stronger metals just fine. And even if you don't want to say him, $1 Million Soba. And then there's a lot of good status ones like Puppet Master, Hoop, and the drummer? What is his name? The one that weakens. And then once you get Modern, you can just use a research combo in Modern and almost no metals getting past them. Like, metals just aren't... They're Mochi, that's it. Oh, and then there's also Curry, who basically can perma-slow metals while having a decent crit chance as an LD unit. Like, I don't think you understand just how much you have for anti-metal, and you just decide not to use it. You really just don't. Okay. Anyways. Metals are easier to straighten? No, I still think red's easier, but whatever. And then Konico. I'm only going to put Konico low A. Okay, mid A. Like, lower end of mid A there. Right? And the reason why I'm having Konico somewhat low like that... Well, it might actually change. Let me look at her stats real quick. How much does she cost? Ooh, only 2,100. Ugh. But her recharge time is really long. That's what it is. Really long recharge time. Not a lot of knockback count. A lot of range though. 450 range. 70,000 HP is good. But the lower knockback count could be better. She can be better than Balrog. Can be. But remember, Balrog's main strength is his recharge time. And so, you know, that's a big deal. We get the Savage Blow, Surge, Crit, Explosion. Here's the thing, right? Yes, her potential is high, but it's not at all consistent, right? Like... And then she doesn't even have that valuable of immunities. Like, all of these are obviously fine. Like, honestly, her best usage is either crit or her slow against Traitless and Relic. But remember, she has single targeting. So if you don't get your wave or your surge or explosion, so that's what, 3 chances of 22%. If you don't get any of those, you don't have any form of pierce. You don't have any AoE. And even though it may sound like, oh, I have a 60% chance, it's actually closer to like 40 or 50, because they don't stack in an additive manner. But her consistent slow is good. Don't get me wrong; it's a guaranteed, like 80% uptime. Like, that's not bad considering 450 standing range. But remember, wave is the only thing that actually gives her true AoE, because the explosion will probably give her a blind spot, and same with the surge. Right? So, like, unless you get the wave, you're going to have a blind spot. So anything right in front of you, you're not going to be hitting most of the time. They do function upon additive? No, they do not. They're individual things. That is like saying in Pokemon, whenever you're shiny hunting, each encounter you have adds to that 1 out of 4,000. So that's like saying after 5 encounters, you have that's a 5 in 4,000 chance, even though it's actually what it is. It's 1 in 4,000 the first time, then it's 1 in 4,000 the second time, and like each individual encounter is still 1 in 4,000. It does not change the odds at all. So like, it's individual. You can't add it like that, because that's just not how that works. Like, I get that her average DPS is like 14k, which is actually kind of underwhelming considering all that she has, right? Like, if you think about it, 14k considering all of this, that means that the consistency is really low. But like, all in all, she's still good, right? She's still great. A tier, easy. But I don't think she's as good as a lot of people maybe think she is, or something. I don't know. But I mean, I've never used her, so take what I say with a grain of salt here. With Trixie, I have used her. But like, it's still 14k to everything. But like, that's not a consistent 14k, right? And I know this is level 30. I know. But she's definitely better than Trixie. Nah. Well, maybe. I don't know. Like, the long recharge time really kills it for me, because if she dies, she's gone for a long time. Like, if you want to hate on the Nikalugas for having longer recharge time, then you gotta hate on her. Just get lucky. I mean, she's really fun to use, I'm sure. And I would love to get Konico. And I have no doubt she's really good. But I would consider using her first form instead. Like, that first form is honestly, like, from what I can tell, 60-second recharge time. Survivability is the stinkiest part about it, but still good slow. Like, I feel like her first form is better, because it cuts the recharge time in a third. And since she has so many abilities like Surge, Wave, and Explosion, you already have the Pierce to reach 450 and further. So, like, am I crazy for saying that her first form is actually better, making me want to put her up here, right under Trixie? But trash damage, it's half as bad. Like, that's 7k DPS, right? 250 range is too low? But then why are you trying to gas up Trixie? She only has 30 more than that. There's no big difference between 250 and 280. Oh yeah, and don't forget, that's also super cost efficient. Right? Like, super cost efficient. And remember, 250 standing range is still enough to outrange Bun-Buns and stuff. Right? Trixie has 280 range, letting her outrange Aros. Okay. So, that's, first of all, one thing. And second of all, if you're talking about general usage, then I don't care. Like, it's only 150 cost. Cost efficiency is actually really valuable. And like, remember, true evolved form is also 2100, but like, I still think that the recharge time is way too long, right? Hello, Gizmo. Like, am I crazy for thinking that Konico's first form is actually better just because of the cost efficiency and the shorter recharge time? I was looking at wrong side. Her damage is pretty good on first form. Oh yeah, no, you were looking at this. No, she has this. Just saying her recharge time is bad. Well, I mean, plus the inconsistencies. Like, her first form is still inconsistent as hell, but like, but like, she still has one available knockback, and she still has really good attack frequency, right? So like, and even like, if you want to use her against metals, I wouldn't judge you for using her, because like, you're getting like probably a good amount of attacks in. And then having a crit that can surge, explode, and wave, like, her potential is really high, don't get me wrong, but she's awfully inconsistent, which is why I'm not putting her above Trixie. I just refuse to put her above Trixie. Like, she could be probably anywhere around here, but like, just to emphasize that I'm not putting her above Trixie, I'll put her there. Meet the potential Uber? Yeah, the gambling Uber. Still really good though. Like, anything in A tier is still really good to get, in my opinion. And in B tier, they're still really good to get, just to a lesser extent. Stall, probably my biggest hot take. I think Stall is bottom of A at the greatest. Like, that's the highest I'll put him. It's bottom of A. I really want to get Konico. Yeah, Konico seems like a lot of fun. Nuh-uh, shut your bitch ass up. Is it gonna be the hot one? Really? I don't get how people think that Stall is better than Trixie. I just don't get it, because he's less consistent, and he also has a worse niche. He has a worse niche. He's less consistently good, and he targets worse traits, which is kind of part of the niche. But like, the only thing I'll give him is his immunities, his surge immunity. But against that, really only helps against Aku, right? Like, He's good, don't get me wrong. Like 9k DPS, obviously attacks really. I don't think I talked about this with Trixie, but they attack really. They have a 3-hit multi-hit, and they attack every half second, and they have 3 hits and 0.3 seconds and stuff. Like I probably should have said that. And 4 knockbacks and stuff. Like they're basically copies of each other with 9k DPS and stuff. So we're strong against 13,500 at level 30. Just got Princess Cat from my plat. Where does she place in the list? I can show you. I put her in B, right? Yeah, middle of B. Which is still pretty good. But at least put them above some movers, not just the bottom of the B. What, you want me to put him above Valkyrie? Sure. But like that doesn't mean I think he's absolutely better than Valkyrie or anything. Like the only reason why I did that with Konico and Trixie is because I definitely believe Trixie to still deserve higher, just because like it is a really good freeze against 3 traits, right? Because remember, Konico only slows; it's not a freeze. Like for completely different reasons. Like they're not. You can't really compare them because they have completely different values, right? So like I just want to, like I'll honestly just do that because like frankly I'm fine with doing that. Stall is definitely better than Konico IML. More target. It's more targets, but metals and zombies are not a threat. And then against Aku, you only have a 5% chance to pierce shields. And only a third of the time will you actually get that shield pierce on a mini wave, so you're probably not even going to be hitting the backline since you only have 320 range. Right? Like, the 30% chance to mini wave is the killer of Stall. And the only 3% chance to crit. Like, the slow is good, but that's the best part about him. Right? Like the 50% chance to slow is the best part about them. And slowing metals and zombies doesn't really affect much because they already have low range. It's not like you're stopping much progression, right? So like 2 most hated trait. Okay, here's the thing. Hated trait and threatening trait are completely different things. Metals and zombies are not a threat, especially later on in the game. Like, because remember, I'm talking about this tier list as of ZL, like around the ZL mark. Like these 2 traits are not a threat at that point, and even Aku isn't that much of a threat by that point, and this isn't helping anything. Only a 5% chance to pierce shields, and on top of that, only a 30% chance to mini wave. If this was 100%, I'd say go ahead, like go bottom of, like at the top of A tier, arguably S tier. But it's only a 30% chance. So you're rarely actually going to be getting a mini wave crit or a mini wave pierce shield, you know? Like, I genuinely just don't... Like, he's still great. Don't get me wrong. He's still great. But he's not, like, better than Trixie. Because Trixie just has better trait targetings. Traitless alone trumps all of these. Like, even if it didn't trump all of these, thanks to the Aku actually being a good trait to target, or at least a decent one to target, this is not enough for me to want to say, hey, he's a top tier anti-Aku. 30% is not even every third, it is slightly lower. Yeah. But like, you may say, oh, but his consistency is actually really high because he attacks 6 times per second. 6 times per second, right? So even if it is additive, which it's not, but even if it was additive, that would only be a 30% chance per second. And remember, that is only at 320 range. And I mean, 30% chance per second sounds good, right? But with this low of range and that not including the oddity that is the mini wave, yeah, whose crit rate is 15% per second. Yeah, but the mini wave, right? Because like, thanks to him not having any natural pierce, there's not, and his already low range, there's not a lot of room for him to be like, hey, I got a crit. Crit's like the very front line. Hey, I got a shield pierce. Crit's a peon, right? Like, he needs that pierce in order to be really good, and he lacks a consistent pierce. His DPS and health is really good, right? Like, his recharge time is really good. His DPS against his targeted traits is 13,500, which doesn't matter against metals, really, but, you know, it's there. And then his HP is effectively 250,000, just about. Trixie also lacks pierce. Yeah, but she also targets traitless and doesn't require the pierce to be consistent, right? Because against her traits, she doesn't need shield pierce. She doesn't need crit, right? You need that stuff on Stall, which makes him less consistent. He's less consistent. And remember, she also has a freeze instead of a slow. Freeze being a hell of a lot better than slow in terms of like considering the fact that they have almost the same length and uptime. He benefits so much from crit combos. We're really not considering those. Like, we're judging the Uber on its own. Like, if you really wanted to say, oh, what, like, unless he has a crit up combo, which he doesn't, I'm not considering them because that's just stupid. And plus, these two are just not a threat. Like, relics and aliens can at least be somewhat threatening, right? This is not what you were talking about. You were criticizing Stall for not having piercing range out of Miniwave. Well, I'm talking about him as a whole. Him as a whole, he's like, he requires that pierce, but he also is inconsistent. You know, like, things can coexist. Anyways, now we can get into the weirder ones that I've never even looked at. I don't think they're good at all, but I do want to see them. So, Filibuster Cat or Evangelist. How do you even obtain this one? Like via serial codes. Interesting. Business cards, stuff like that. So, like, this really is a true all-over tier list. Only 500 cost, 320-second recharge time, 1,000 standing range, 100% chance to freeze metals for 5 seconds. Excuse my hiccups, by the way. Interesting. 38-second attack frequency. God damn, that is pitiful. Everything about him is pitiful. Huh. Wait, what's the attack animation look like? Attack. Show me that attack. Is it literally just filibuster? Is that all it is? Hello, Minister Morningstar. It's obtainable on Switch, really? Is it the same stats? Bro, that was such an underwhelming attack animation. Like, that is a very underwhelming attack animation. But yeah, like, bottom of D. Just, like, you know, I will add a tier below. I will add a tier below and call it F. I will go ahead and do that. What color do I do it? Gray. Because they're in the gray area of obtainability. Which also includes this one. This one I actually, like, I don't know anything about Chicken Cat. Like, what? You know what? I don't even need to look at your stats. Bro goes all the way at the top 10. Because that unit design alone deserves it. Which funnel should I max first? King of Destiny or King of Doom? I don't know. 900 cost, 11-second recharge time, 3 knockbacks, 14 movement speed, only 160 range, 15% chance to create a level 10 wave attack, 0.3-second attack. What the fuck? Wow. Interesting. Wait, the first form has like more than double the range, but no wave. It doesn't have a wave. And its attack frequency is also like, what the fuck? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, and he shits on his enemies to kill. Oh, that's so fun. I love it when things like this exist. Okay, so I'm obviously not putting you up there, and I'm honestly putting you above Phil. I mean, honestly, right? Being able to place this, I mean, it's kind of expensive. Because it's 900, but like 10-second recharge time, level 10. I mean, the damage is pitiful. Like, even doubling this, I mean, 2800 DPS, you know, but only 160. You know, survivability is there. If you thought Chicken Cow was bad, look at Cheetah. I honestly don't think Cheetah. I mean, honestly, I actually don't even think they belong in F. What does Chicken do? I missed it because ads. I'm so sorry. Wave, basically, every 0.3 seconds, but 50% chance. Like, oh wait, that means that's not 2800 DPS since it's only 50% chance. But like, It's so weird because I almost want to not put them in F. Like, nah, I'll still put them in F. I'll still put them in F because they're still god awful. You're never, even if you had them, even if they were obtainable, you know, you're not using them. And then cheetah. Like this is basically just a ranking of which one's better than the other. Down here. This unit is obtainable only via cheating. But cheetah. Because you're a cheater, cheetah. Get it? Recharge wave spam, yeah, but only at 160 range and low speed, and also it's only 50% chance, but it's every 0.3 seconds, so I guess if you did your math terribly, it would be 45% per second, but that's not how math works. Hey chat, very cost effective, right? Very cost effective. You only have to spend 1 cent on them. You only have to put 1 cent into them. Top tier Uber. They have a negative backswing? How does that even work? Wait, how does negative backswing work? Yeah, this is 11 minutes cooldown. Single attack targeting with 1 damage. Sorry, 2 damage. Wait, what's the difference between level 1? Is this not level 1? Now I'm just confused. Oh yeah, and also 0 movement speed. Where's the range at? Oh, 1. So chat, do you know what the difference is between level 1 and level, what, 0? Like, I'm confused now. SSS tier, since it can actually destroy your account. Oh, you know what? So true. 1 slot recharge XL combo, watch him be used everywhere. He's unupgradable, I think. But then why are there different stats for these? Why are there different stats for level 1 and these levels? Are these not level 1? Oh, treasures? That makes sense. Like chapter 1 treasures. That makes sense. Or not chapter 1, Empire of Cats treasures. Interesting. +1 cheetah would be so funny. Yeah, but yeah, that's the bottom of you know, that, and there you go. There you have it, chat and YouTube. Oh my god, I have to zoom out so much. That is, as of right now, the tier list. You should get Philly Talons. I probably should, honestly. They don't seem terrible. Not good, but not bad. Sorry, I'm taking a second to process. Spent 40 minutes yapping about 8 Ubers. Shut your bitch ass up. Bye, YouTube.